Ah, the golden age of American muscle cars. An era when raw power, bold designs, and thunderous V8 engines ruled the roads. But not every muscle car became a household name. Today, we're diving into 15 forgotten American muscle cars that every enthusiast should know about. Buckle up, this is going to be a thrilling ride. In the world of muscle cars, names like Mustang, Camaro, and Charger often steal the spotlight. But what about the unsung heroes? The cars that, for one reason or another, have slipped through the cracks of history. These machines were built with the same passion and power, yet they've faded from the limelight. Let's bring these forgotten legends back into focus. Our journey begins with the 1964 Pontiac Tempest GTO, often hailed as the first true muscle car. Pontiac's engineers took a mid-sized Tempest and transformed it into a beast by dropping in a 389 cubic inch V8 engine, producing up to 348 horsepower. This move was a bold step that essentially created the muscle car market. The GTO was available in 3 body styles: coupe, hardtop, and convertible, making it a versatile choice for car enthusiasts. However, despite its pioneering role and its nickname, the Great One, the Tempest GTO is often overshadowed by later GTO models, such as the legendary 1969 Judge. It's the car that started it all, yet many enthusiasts don't realize it was the spark that ignited the muscle car movement. Next up is the 1971 AMC Javelin AMX, a car that dared to be different. AMC, American Motors Corporation, wasn't the biggest name in the muscle car game, but they packed a serious punch with the Javelin AMX. This model featured a 401 cubic inch V8 engine that could churn out 330 horsepower and go from 0 to 60 in just 6.6 seconds. The Javelin AMX also stood out with its distinctive design, including flared fenders and a long hood that gave it an aggressive, muscular stance. Despite its potential, AMC's smaller market share and the Javelin's unconventional looks meant it never quite got the recognition it deserved. It's a wild card that deserves a second look, a car that dared to stand out in a crowded field. Mercury's muscle car lineup never quite achieved the fame of its Ford counterparts, but the 1968 Cyclone GT was a dark horse with serious potential. Powered by the 428 cubic inch Cobra Jet V8 engine, the Cyclone GT could produce 335 horsepower and had the torque to match, making it a formidable contender on the streets. The Cyclone GT featured a sleek fastback design and was often equipped with optional performance packages that included upgraded suspension, rear gearing, and high-performance tires. Yet, despite its impressive specs, the Cyclone GT was often overshadowed by Ford's more famous Mustangs and Fairlanes. It's a reminder that sometimes the underdogs can deliver just as much punch as the big names. Buick may not be the first name that comes to mind when you think of muscle cars, but the 1970 GSX is a different beast altogether. Buick took their already powerful GS 455 and turned it into the GSX, a car that combined luxury with raw muscle. The GSX's 455 Stage 1 V8 engine delivered an impressive 360 horsepower and a staggering 510 pound-feet of torque, the highest torque output of any American muscle car at the time. The GSX was offered in only 2 colors, Apollo White and Saturn Yellow, both with bold black racing stripes and a rear spoiler that added to its aggressive look. It also came with luxury features like power steering, power brakes, and a rally ride control suspension, but with its high price tag and limited production numbers, only 678 were ever built. The GSX remains one of the rarest and most overlooked muscle cars. It's a car that proved luxury and performance could coexist even in the muscle car world. Before the legendary Charger Daytona, Dodge introduced the Charger 500, an aero warrior built to dominate NASCAR. The Charger 500 featured a flush grille and a unique rear window treatment designed to improve aerodynamics, reducing drag and increasing top speed on the racetrack. Under the hood, the Charger 500 packed either a 426 Hemi 5.8, producing 425 horsepower, or a 440 Magnum V8, delivering 375 horsepower. Despite its innovations and impressive performance, the Charger 500 was quickly overshadowed by the more radical Charger Daytona and Plymouth Superbird. Only 500 units were built to meet NASCAR's homologation requirements, making it a rare and often overlooked piece of muscle car history. Oldsmobile took a bold step with the Rallye 350, introducing a muscle car that was as bright as the sun. With its eye-catching Sebring yellow paint and matching bumpers, the Rallye 350 was hard to miss. But it wasn't just about looks. Under the hood was a 350 cubic inch V8 engine that produced 310 horsepower, making it a fun and affordable muscle car. The Rallye 350 was aimed at younger buyers, offering a balance of performance and economy during a time when insurance rates for high horsepower cars were skyrocketing. Unfortunately, its unusual appearance and the fact that it was positioned as a budget muscle car meant it didn't sell well. Oldsmobile only produced about 3,500 units, making the Rallye 350 a rare and forgotten gem of the muscle car era. Ford's Torino Cobra was a muscle car built for speed, with its 429 Super Cobra jet engine making it a serious performer. The 429 SCJ produced 375 horsepower and came equipped with Ford's drag pack, which included a 4.11-to-1 rear axle, engine oil cooler, and a Holley 4-barrel carburetor, making it a favorite among drag racers. The Torino Cobra also featured a functional Ram air hood, unique Cobra badging, and a competition suspension system. But by 1971, the muscle car era was winding down, and the Torino Cobra found itself overshadowed by rising insurance costs and tightening emissions standards. It was the last hurrah for the Torino as a true muscle car, and while it may not have the fame of a Mustang or a Charger, the Torino Cobra is a car worth remembering. Marketed as the gentleman's muscle car, the Plymouth GTX offered luxury and performance in equal measure. The GTX came standard with a 440 Super Commando V8 engine producing 375 horsepower, and for those seeking even more power, there was the option of the legendary 426 Hemi, which could push out 425 horsepower. The GTX also featured upscale touches like bucket seats, a center console, and a luxurious interior, setting it apart from other muscle cars of the time. But as the muscle car market became more crowded with flashier and cheaper alternatives, the GTX struggled to stand out. Despite its blend of power and refinement, it's often overlooked, making it a perfect blend of style and substance that deserves more recognition. The 1974 Pontiac GTO was the last of its kind, a muscle car fighting to survive in a world of tightening regulations and changing tastes. With the introduction of stricter emissions standards and rising fuel costs, Pontiac downsized the GTO, basing it on the compact Ventura platform and offering it with a 350 cubic inch V8 engine producing 200 horsepower. The 1974 GTO was a shadow of its former self, with a more subdued design and less power under the hood. However, it still offered respectable performance for its time, with 0 to 60 times in the low 8-second range. It's a car that marked the end of an era, and while it's often forgotten, the 1974 GTO is a poignant reminder of the muscle car's struggle to adapt to a changing automotive landscape. The 1969 AMC SC Rambler was a rebel in every sense of the word. AMC partnered with Hearst Performance to create this limited edition muscle car, which was designed specifically for drag racing. With its 390 cubic inch V8 engine producing 315 horsepower, the SC Rambler could go from 0 to 60 in just 6.3 seconds, making it one of the quickest cars of its era. The SC Rambler's bold, red, white and blue paint scheme wasn't just for show, it was a statement. The car's aggressive styling and performance capabilities made it a favorite among drag racers, but its limited production run of just 1,512 units means it's a rare find today. The SC Rambler is a testament to AMC's ability to produce a muscle car that could compete with the best of them, even if it never gained the same level of fame. Ford's Maverick was originally introduced as a compact car, but the 1971 Maverick Grabber was designed to appeal to younger buyers who wanted a stylish and affordable muscle car. The Grabber package added sporty touches like dual racing stripes, a rear spoiler, and a more aggressive grille. While the Maverick Grabber wasn't a true muscle car in the traditional sense, it offered a small but mighty 302 cubic inch V8 engine that produced 210 horsepower. It was a lightweight, nimble car that offered spirited performance at a time when larger, more powerful muscle cars were on the decline. However, its compact size and less powerful engine meant it never quite achieved the same status as its bigger brothers. Today, it's a forgotten gem that showed muscle could come in small packages. The 1972 Chevrolet Nova SS 350 was the quintessential sleeper, a car that looked like an ordinary compact but packed serious muscle under the hood. The SS 350 package included a 350 cubic inch V8 engine that produced 200 horsepower and a sport-tuned suspension, making it a blast to drive. The Nova SS 350 was lightweight and agile, offering solid performance that could surprise many unsuspecting competitors at the stoplight. Despite its capabilities, the Nova often lived in the shadow of its more famous siblings like the Camaro and Chevelle. It's a car that didn't need flashy looks to make an impact, earning its place as one of the most underrated muscle cars of its time. The 1969 Pontiac Firebird 400 Ram Air 4 was a rare and powerful variant of the Firebird lineup. Equipped with the legendary Ram Air 4 400 cubic inch V8 engine, this Firebird produced 345 horsepower and was built for high performance. The Ram Air 4 featured upgraded cylinder heads, a hotter camshaft, and a high-flow exhaust system, making it one of the most potent engines of the muscle car era. Only 102 Firebird Ram Air 4s were produced in 1969, making it an extremely rare and sought-after collector's item today. Despite its rarity and performance, the Ram Air 4 Firebird is often overlooked in favor of the more common and visually aggressive Trans Am models. It's a car that represents the peak of Pontiac's performance engineering, and one that deserves to be remembered. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, the muscle car era was all but over, but Pontiac wasn't ready to throw in the towel just yet. The 1980 Pontiac Firebird Turbo Trans Am was an attempt to bring muscle back with a modern twist. Instead of a large displacement V8, the Turbo Trans Am featured a 301 cubic inch V8 with a turbocharger, producing 210 horsepower. The Turbo Trans Am was ahead of its time, using forced induction to extract more power from a smaller engine, an approach that would become common in performance cars decades later. While the Turbo Trans Am didn't quite live up to the performance of its predecessors, it represented a bold experiment during a challenging time for American performance cars. Today, it's a forgotten pioneer that paved the way for the turbocharged muscle cars of the future. These 15 forgotten muscle cars may not have become household names, but they each played a role in the rich tapestry of American automotive history. They remind us that even in the shadows of the giants, there are stories worth telling and cars worth remembering. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments which forgotten muscle car is your favorite. Until next time, keep the engine running.